I had a good question just come up, and it's to do with love. This one particular person that I'm talking to, um, it says that he doesn't know anything about love. So how can I teach anything about love? Because I've never experienced anything to do with love. And here's the deal: in order for you to recognize that something is wrong, that means you know what is right. But you're still talking and talking and talking about everything that's wrong, that you're not really sitting back saying, you know what's right, but you're not talking about what's right. You're just too busy talking about all the things that are wrong because they're your complaints. So this is one thing that I know will help you see what it is you know that you don't know. And make yourself a long, long list of everything of your complaints, every single excuse you have, every single thing that pisses you off, every single complaint, excuse, negative experience that you can see anywhere in the world. Then on the opposite side, write down, this is the way it should be. You know it's wrong, and this is the description of what's wrong because it should look like this. And once you get that long list of everything that, it should be like this, then you know what's right. Then you know what you know. It's not like you don't know shit. It's that you don't know how to focus on what you know. And then it's a matter of making the transformation into, okay, if everything is wrong this way, it's about me making everything that way. I've gone into a lot of other videos that how to make that transformation, how to communicate with your problems is really quite easy. You have to understand every problem that you experience is nothing more than a thing, and all things communicate. Whether you see them or not see them, they are real. Everything is real. But the best description that I've ever heard of is that, the problem or the thing is wrapped inside you, like entwined, like a ball of string. And when it's inside you, it's really hard to understand it. But you have to take that thing out of you, whether it's an illness, whether it's just any type of problem that you're dealing with. That problem is inside you that you need to take outside of yourself. And as long as you understand that there is an information field, that you communicate with that information field through your intuition, and you can find out what it wants. And one of the biggest things that stops us from looking at what our problems want is because we think it's all evil. And we stay away from evil. Evil is the worst friggin' thing you can possibly ever do. But no, evil is your problem. Evil is a lack of information. Evil will look everything wrong. So when you're communicating with your problem, you actually want to find out what your problem wants, because your problem wants something. And that's been our biggest thing, is don't give evil what it wants. Don't give the problem the solution. And that's kind of where we've gone insane. And the way to communicate this is you have to get yourself in a loving, peaceful state, which means you really have to feel it, not just think you're feeling it, but really, really feel it. And when you're in that state, then you are accessing good information with your intuition. You can talk to the thing. When you aren't, and trust me, it's a process that when you think you're in a loving state, chances are you aren't. Chances are you're just at the best loving state you can be, but you need to get deeper and deeper and deeper. Which is some of the things that I've looked at with my personal issues. I've been talking to my thing, my problem, and finding out what it wants. And, okay, I got this big bad problem, and my problem wanted me to improve my communication skills, because clearly I was sucking, nobody was listening to me, and it led me to starting a YouTube channel, just with the basis of, I'm going to improve my communication skills and see, what works out, and lo and behold, here I am today. Now, in that process, I had no computer. I had nothing to be able to do that with, but all of a sudden I got one free computer. And then the computer we were using, because I'm sharing it with somebody else, I couldn't have access to it. So, you know what? The universe gave me another free computer. So the world works in mysterious ways that it will provide you with everything that you want as long as you're on your right track and you're listening to your thing and giving your thing what it is that it wants. Now your thing is going to give you some really mixed up messages, but you have to keep asking questions like, well, what is it you want? And my smoking addiction is a prime example of understanding insanity. That my smoking addiction wants me dead. Why? Because all the pain would be gone. As long as I'm dead, I won't feel any pain. So it's like, okay, I can understand that one. Not that I was suicidal, not that I could see that I was having those thoughts myself, but ultimately those problems are you. So whatever it is you give to your problem, you actually ultimately give to yourself. So my problem wanted me to, learn how to communicate better, how to improve the world that I live in, how to share the information that I have. And it is a matter of me constantly teaching, like a little baby, this smoking addiction, that no, there is a better way. No, there is things that you should do. I know what my smoking addiction wants me to do. It wants me to work out more, wants me to eat healthier, wants me to, really, really care for myself a lot more, which is a really, really big challenge right now because it's difficult to look after yourself when the world is so screwed up. So it is more of keep doing what I'm doing and improve the world that I live in. And the more my world improves, then it'll be a lot easier for me to look after myself. So while I still struggle with that challenge, still to this day, I'm still in process, and I know at least what my smoking addiction wants. Yes, it wants me dead, but you don't give it, that what it wants. You have to use your own common sense. Do you really want to die? I don't want to die. So when my smoking addiction says you want it dead, it's not like you give that what it wants. You understand why it wants. And ultimately, the smoking addiction wanted peace and love. It wanted me to experience peace and love, but its logic was saying you can only get it through death. My logic, my personal, because I'm not depressed, didn't want that direction. So it was a matter of me constantly communicating with this thing and you being more the parent to this thing and teaching this thing a better way of being. And it is very much like, teach your problems like they were little kids. How would you raise your kids? What lessons would you want to teach them? If your kid came out and said, well, I'd rather be dead because, that's where life is, as a parent, would you say that that's, go along with that? Or would you try and communicate and educate your problem and give it what it wants? Because ultimately, it did want peace and love. But I have to create my world more peaceful and more loving on a global level because I'm more of a global thinker. I really can connect the dots that shows that my world has a lot more influence on me than I have on my world. So a lot of that was shown up that I can raise my kids in any way, shape, or form. One example right now is I've been trying to get my daughter to go to school, even though I'm against an education. It's not a harmful thing, and it would answer a lot of her challenges that she's dealing with. But we don't listen to mom. We don't listen to our parents. But you know what? There's somebody she works with that's just going to harass her like crazy until she gets into school, and now she's in school because she won't stop, because society is forcing her to do the right thing. So it's not, as a parent, us parents have very little influence over our kids. It's our societies that have more influence over our kids. So I'm at one with the universe helping me out being a parent. It shows up, all the time, one way or another. It is in the matter of change. So there's a little bit more information. Hope it helps at all. Peace out.